Good afternoon, everybody. It is a Sunday afternoon here in Queensland, and today I'm actually going to do a chat. It's going to probably be done in 2 or 3 parts, and it's going to be talking all about menopause. So if you're squeamish or uncomfortable about discussing anything to do with the birds and the bees and what women go through in life, then perhaps you need to click out of this video. If you are interested in learning a little bit more about menopause and my personal experience to date, then I would suggest you go and grab yourself a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or a cold drink or whatever floats your boat and stick around. Okay, disclaimer first, I am not a doctor or a gynecologist or a specialist of any kind. Having said that, I am a 49-year-old female who started going into menopause at 43. So please don't let doctors tell you that 40-ish is too young for you to start going into menopause, because it's just not true. I had been a very, very, very regular person with my periods. They were every 28 days without fail. I was always 5 days. First 2 days would be quite heavy, and the other 2 days would be reasonably light, and the last day would literally just be a bit of spotting, and that was it. And that was always how I went. When I turned 43, I started getting a very uncomfortable pain over my left ovary area, usually about 2 to 3 days before I was due, and it would last all night, right throughout the night, unless I took really, really strong painkillers. And the first few times it happened, I actually went to my doctor thinking that there was something substantially wrong, and I was sent off for ultrasounds and came back, and my female doctor at the time, who was incredibly unsympathetic, basically said, well, we can't find anything wrong with you. We also did blood tests. So she basically said, that's your lot in life, you're female, you've just got to get used to it. And I asked her, could I be going into menopause? And she said, no, you're far too young for that. So I battled on for probably 2 years. My periods were still quite regular, although I was getting that pain usually 2 to 3 days before I was due every month. And I learnt to live on Panadeine and Panadeine Forte every month for at least 24 to 48 hours with this pain. Then I started noticing the changes in my actual period, and I went from having the first 2 days where it was reasonably heavy to the point where I would flood. And I do mean I would flood. I'd go to walk out of the house and I would have to make sure, when I knew I was due, that I had a multitude of everything from panty liners to the thickest maternity quality pads that I could find, super-sized tampons, whereas I had always only ever used regular, a change of underwear, a change of pants if I was wearing jeans or pants or whatever for work with my photography, and it would make me actually feel lightheaded. There were times where I would flood to the point where I would actually feel like I was going to pass out. My doctor still didn't see that there was anything wrong. So when you have changes, you know your body better than anybody else. You know, you've lived in your body. I've lived in my body for 49 years. I know when there are significant changes. And the fact that my period changed quite dramatically was an indication to me that something wasn't right. But I kept going back to my doctor, and she kept saying, there's nothing wrong with you. You're perfectly okay. You're female, you've just got to deal with it. So I changed doctors, because I kind of thought, well, you know what, that's not good enough. So I changed doctors, and I now have a male doctor who is very, very good and very, very thorough. I also started doing a bit of delving and finding out for myself everything I could on menopause and what I could do naturally to try and help with all the side effects that some women will experience and some women won't. I asked my mum, and she breezed through menopause. She didn't get any of the symptoms that I'm getting, but you'll find out more information in my next part that I plan to do. I think this will probably be at least a 2-part talk, perhaps even a 3-part talk, where I will actually give you more information on what I have found out, printed information that I have also got that's been an incredible help to me to just know more about menopause and what I can expect, and some of the symptoms that I had that I thought had nothing to do with menopause, that it turns out had everything to do with menopause. So suffice to say, it changed my skin, my hair, my nails, my sleeping pattern. There are a lot of things that you don't get told and that isn't widely available out there as far as information goes to let you know what you can expect when you're going through menopause. So this is my first part. I will be doing at least a second part, possibly a third part, but this is just a little bit of a warm-up because not everybody likes to discuss these sort of things, and I do understand that, but I think it's part of life, it's unavoidable, and I think that if someone can sit in front of a camera and give you a little bit of a rundown on their personal experience, it's going to help somebody. I wish there had actually been somebody who had done this for me, because it's taken a lot of questioning, a lot of trial and error with different things, and a lot of reading, a lot of researching to find out what I now know about menopause. So look out for part 2. This is part 1. This is just a brief introduction on what I plan to do with this particular series. And if you have any questions, or if there is anything that you would like to be included in any of these series, then please let me know with comments down below, and I will chat with you again very soon. And if you have watched this video, thank you very much. Please give me a thumbs up so that I know it has been watched, and I will chat with you again very soon. Okay, bye.